Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pull Up 3. I am Paragon Don.
I'm Janae.
And I'm Jay Trent.
Today, we're going to be talking about Athletes Unlimited starting tomorrow, or by the time this comes out, I'm sure they already played a game. Um, some college games like LSU and Tennessee that have happened, um, transfers and the numbers on like impact transfers, and things of that nature. So I think one of the first things I wanted to talk about, or we could just get out the way, is Athletes Unlimited. Uh, since again that is starting tomorrow, um, and just how excited I am that that is here. And one thing I will give them credit for, even outside of the fact that it's an opportunity for people to play basketball here and not really have to worry about it, they do a fantastic job, which I hope the WNBA utilizes better when the season starts, of promoting players even outside of like the big names. When it comes to just like putting everyone in the forefront and making everyone seem like on an equal playing field. Like if I didn't know any better, you almost feel like damn near everyone is the same level of skill or whatnot, just because they have everyone who wants to be on camera in front of the camera and everyone who wants to do something showing some type of some aspect of the personality, which is, we talked about it before. That's the best way to get someone invested into your sport or into your league, is what story do these people convey and who are they and what are their personalities like, instead of being trying to make some hot take about who's the best in this or who was the best player in this or all sorts of that. So um, I commend them for that. Also, just it's just an opportunity for the older players, younger players. Cindy Colson just said she basically would not be playing in the WNBA if not for Athletes Unlimited. So it's crazy how this league basically saved her career. So we'll see how that goes for everybody else.
The benefits of AU and just like speaking to them, talking about personalities. I think since like it's a like it's an individual game as much as it is a team game, I think makes a difference, right? Because it's like, if you go out there and you hoop, you're automatically rewarded, right? Because you get to be a captain and get to pick your team and things like that. So I think it gives them more opportunity, or each player more opportunities to, show their skill set. Because it's like you don't have to play behind anybody. Like, yeah, you're playing on the team, but if this is your best night, like nobody's gonna be like, oh, well, sit down. So
I'm so glad that Jermaine said that because I was going to do a no stupid questions type deal where I was like, how do they determine who picks the teams in AU? And I knew that the team captains would like cycle out, but I didn't know how it was how it was determined who would get to do what.
So their first set of team captains is based on the top players from last season. So last season, I think Melissa got first, um, Leash got second, Lexi got third. I could be lying. Either way, it's based on whoever the top four players were. But since like Melissa isn't playing this season because she's still overseas, and somebody else isn't playing because they're still overseas. Whoever the second person was also is still overseas right now. I'm gonna look that up in a second. But essentially, whoever the top four players were last season, they got picked as captains this season. And so then each week you get to pick. But then like each week it resets, so you get points for how many points you score, steals, rebounds, assists, and I think you lose points for like missed shots, turnovers. And it's kind of like playing fantasy. But the point skills are different. But yeah, they're essentially playing fantasy, and whoever gets the most points each week turn around and get to pick players.
Ooh, I actually found their
And I think the colors are kind of random too, so I don't think that has anything to do with it.
I found their scoring breakdown on their website, as a matter of fact. The wins are all about team performance. They acclimate during both individual quarters and overall game wins. Each quarter is worth 60 points, and overall games are worth 180 points. If a quarter is tied, the points roll over to the subsequent quarter. After each game, the players and members of the Limited Club vote for players they feel had standout performances. These points will be added to the player's individual total. Points will be awarded as follows: MVP 1 plus 90, MVP 2 plus 60, MVP 3 plus 30. The final component of points is individual stats. Players will earn points based on their performance. Assist is 10, steal is 10, block is 10, shooting foul drawn is 4, personal foul drawn is 4, offensive foul drawn is 8, defensive rebound is 5, offensive rebound is 10, made free throws is 10, made 2 is 20, made 3 is 30. Players can lose points for certain actions, such as committing fouls, turning over the ball, or missing a shot. Shooting foul committed is -8. Personal foul committed is -8. Offensive foul committed is -16. Other foul committed is -8. Turnover is -10. Missed free throw is -10. Miss 2 is -10. Miss 3 is -10. So it's very interesting scoring system. But when you have a different league, you have to find ways to set yourself apart. And I ain't heard nobody complain about it since they started doing it. So to me, it sounds like it works. Right now, like Jamae was saying, the team captains are Odyssey Sims, which I need Dallas to stop putting her on their social media if they not gonna sign her. That's very. They keep tricking me, and I don't like it. Odyssey Sims, Alicia Gray, Lexi Hole, and Kelsey Mitchell are the team captains for this week.
I'm trying to find the winners from last year. I know Melissa got first. Is it Izzy who got second? I don't know why I can't find out who the person is who got second, but
Jamae, you know who won the 2022?
in 2022?
Yeah. Tiana Hawkins.
Tiana Hawkins, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Where is Tiana Hawkins? Like, let's wake that up. Where is she? I have not heard enough information about her.
It's crazy.
But see, obviously the AU to elite player pipeline, it's working. It's working.
Right.
Tiana Hawkins, do
I
you
don't know
post
who,
it
I can't
on
find
like
it though.
Instagram
But
or
it was
something?
Nalissa. No, she's such a mom. Like, stop being old.
Oh, her page private. We ain't not find out nothing. But yeah, is there any particular players that y'all are excited to see this go around? I know selfishly, I'm excited to see Sydney Colson just because one, she's ace, but two, obviously face the league, one of the funniest players ever. Um, you know, Maddie Siegrist. I know she's not really gonna get a lot of shots with the Wings, but her building up her confidence here is going to be important to when she gets those opportunities when the time comes, whether she's playing like how she played in college or her being a church baby, like she kind of started doing with the Wings. I thought that was really cool. Haley Jones, we all love Haley Jones over here. Um, her talking about how nobody really talked junk because all of them got a ride back on the bus together. It was very funny. Um, and Izzy, because she has not played in a very long time.
She's not playing. I don't think she's playing.
Like the whole time?
Well, she got drafted, so she was a team captain, but then they marked her as inactive. So she still got drafted on a team, but I don't know if she's actually gonna play this first week.
Well, I
So
hopefully she played before it's over. She got a month. I need her to. I would like to see her play. And Whitney Knight, selfishly,
and I and
because
I and
Whitney Knight is
I
from Winston.
I found the list, by the way. Not Melissa won, Nas got second, Odyssey got third, and Leash got fourth. So since Nas and Melissa are overseas, they switched them with Lexi, who won Defensive Player of the Year. And who's the fourth person? Odyssey, no, Kelsey Mitchell.
I'm excited to see the dream players or former dream players on every team. Like this week, I see Angel McCoughtry is on the team. Of course, Alicia Gray is a team captain. Haley Jones is on the team, and Letitia Me here is on a roster. So excited to see them. Looking at the other players, I'm excited to see Kirsten Bell. She didn't play a lot during the Aces stretch run in the playoffs last season, but interested to see what she does. I feel like leagues like this, the I feel like the players who are not um not quite on that star tier in the W, I feel like they've got more chance to, just show how good they are in a league like AU because it's less there's a little bit less structure because and then you're also playing for individual stats as well as looking for a win for your team. So I think um I think it could benefit a player like Kirsten Bell. That was another one that I was interested to see how she played.
Like watching Odyssey Sims play, because she does really well. And like every time I watch her in AU, I'm always like, how is she not on a WNBA roster? And so the dream also need to again stop being nasty because like she was carrying your team, not carrying them, but like y'all, she was taking Crystal and Veronica minutes. So respectfully,
You said the Dream or the
you need to
Wings?
bring her. I mean, the Wings. Sorry, you know what I meant. Um, Taya's come back to basketball. Um, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what's in her bag. Um, who else on here that I like? Obviously Haley Jones. Tiffany Mitchell, I think will be really fun to watch. And I think the thing I like about AU is that I feel like it gives the like younger players a sense of confidence. Um, like Lexi Hall, I think if nothing else this season, she definitely came back like more confident and more aggressive, specifically on defense. Now, if she could work on shooting this AU season, we might be in business. Also Grace Berger is gonna get to play because she's replacing Avina Westbrook. So yeah, obviously all the Fever players I'm looking forward to.
We're very excited for AU. We're always any opportunity for the girls to do stuff in house. Not that the overseas stuff is bad by any means, because Lord knows the girls will come back from overseas and they be ready. But any opportunity to where it's something that they don't have to do to earn money, we are in very full support. So shout out to Athletes Unlimited. They do stuff all year round, basically. Or I think they do what else they do? They do volleyball. They do
There's a lot of AU sports.
yeah, they do basketball, lacrosse, softball, volleyball, softball. So they do a lot of things. So shout out to them. I'm trying to convince my friend who lives near Dallas to go to some of the games, and I think I convinced him. So propaganda works.
Not you need the AU Advocacy Award.
They're gonna name it after you too.
I'll step up to that plate, girl dad type shit. They're gonna ask me who my kid is. I'm gonna say I don't know. Well, next I wanted to talk about Jermaine has been preaching on Twitter recently. Um, you know, with the way women's basketball is, and one how like young it is, but also kind of accessible. Like these players are popular, but they're not like terribly popular to where if you at them, they're not gonna see it. And Jermaine brought up a very good point the other day where a lot of the times people will be engaging in discourse about a player, and negative or not, or whether valid or not, people will try to involve the player directly in the discourse, and it's very, very nasty. um, it's really just like again, these players are pretty accessible for the most part. Like, of course, you can't just like DM them and be like, "Hey, no, you should look at this." But most of the time, these big NBA players be seeing stuff. Like these big professional sports players search their name, all this type of stuff. When y'all are adding these players directly to try to engage in some like nasty discourse or just try to make a point when someone could not even be saying anything crazy, but just like a valid like, hey, that was kind of ugly if they did this, or hey, they're not playing well, or hey, they're not shooting well, and y'all are like, look what they said about you. It's it's kind of nasty, and yeah, I would like for this to not be a thing.
I think the thing that annoyed me about this particular situation is that the person called me the Twitter police. I said, let's back up. Let's back up. And my like somebody has said, I think they said when Angel go to the league, Asia gonna have something for her. And they quote tweeted it and was like, y'all keep trying to humble at Angel Reese. Just let her enjoy college. Some like this whole thing. And I'm like, I know you had good intentions because you was trying to defend her, but like maybe. And I said it like I literally was like, maybe I kind of just wish y'all would stop adding people. And then they were like, I had to wish you weren't the Twitter police. I'm like, you literally quoted somebody else's tweet. Like, that nigga didn't at you. That nigga didn't mention you. That nigga didn't even tag Angel Reese. He didn't even write her full name. He could have been talking about any angel in the world, and you got up here and made this shit about Angel Reese. And now you got people in the comments calling her trash because you wanted to drag her into it. Like, it was very random. I'm tired. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I often think about like Asia being like, I don't remember which segment she was on. I think it was the Aces. Oh no, when they did the Slam little interview, she was talking about how like if she see people saying stuff about her, she can kind of like brush it off. But if you get in her mentions, now she feel like she gotta cuss you out because now you don't really put me in it. And I'm just like, maybe they don't need to see that. Like, they don't need to see every thought that somebody has about them. Like, they already have a large platform and there are already people talking shit about them all the time. They do not need you to be bringing it up into their mentions. Like, you trying to play good guy is not going to work in your favor because now people are going to be dragging you and them in the replies.
It's crazy. I don't even think it's trying to play good guy. I think he's being Randall from Recess, like just being like, look what they're saying about you. Like it's just everybody is not going to have everything positive to say about everyone, and that does not mean they don't like someone. That doesn't mean they don't like the way somebody plays. That doesn't, you know, it's not always an indictment of how they feel. Every critique is not mean. I do not like this person, or I do not wish the best for this person. And if an athlete randomly sees them tagged, and if I decide to be like, hey, I think this person needs to work on their jump shot, if they just randomly see a tag of me saying that, it's gonna be like, why you just say that out of nowhere? What's this about? And it's gonna look crazy. So yeah, as it's being a snitch is not, especially on Twitter. Like it's very crazy, especially over most mundane topics that basketball discourse involves.
So this whole situation feels like you just want her to reply to you, Dean. You want her to be like, I appreciate you looking out for me. Or something. Because like what's going on? What's going on? Why do we at players? It's like because you know that these athletes have they have large platforms and they'll do a lot of they'll probably scroll a little bit. If I was a public figure, I'd be private on everything. It's just like y'all will see me when y'all see me, cause like I I don't want to be perceived. Like I can only imagine like how exhausting it is for these players to be like, dang, this niggas up here throwing my at in everything, because they rank in their top 5 or something. Like, please leave me out of it. Like, thank you, question mark, but leave me out of this because I don't want to see it. If I'm searching my name, that makes it a me problem. But if you at me, you are actively putting me in your business and in your conversation. And I am so good on that.
You tapping me. That's you tapping me on the shoulder, and I ain't asking you to do that.
It's just so, and it too is like, it's like it's never like, even if it is something good, it's just like, this is not enough for you to be letting me know directly. I'm sorry. Like I didn't need to know that you love and respect me. Buy a t-shirt. Like I don't need to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't need to I mean I ain't need that. But I don't know. I don't know, child. It's yes or no for me.
Now, I will not be following those guidelines on the pull up 3 page because that's just a shameless plug. If I at you, I need you to see hugs and kisses around this way. But other than that, on the regular page, probably not necessary. You know, I get it. You know, you're just trying to live your life. As far as other things when it comes to social media and really like how I feel like sports media is in general. And y'all brought this up earlier, which I thought was a fantastic point. A lot of people do not know how to give recognition without negatively talking about something else or someone else, and it's very nasty. Like, and I feel like this goes beyond sports. Like, this goes into entertainment as a whole. There are, when it comes to sports, there are so many teams to cover. There are so many people to cover. There are so many coaches to cover. Sometimes people may not get the recognition that they deserve. Sometimes some people focus on a specific group and other people focus on a specific group. Sometimes if you want somebody to get a certain amount of recognition, you have to take the charge and be the change that you want to see in the world. It's okay. Like, someone getting recognition does not mean that someone else is not getting recognition somewhere else. Like the tweet that we were talking about earlier, where someone was like, "Yeah, everybody talking about Juju Watkins, but no one's talking about Talia Scott." Like, it's like stuff is just it's ugly. Um, it's just so many people to cut. You like Juju scoring 50 points and outscoring teams by herself. I I'm sorry that we did not take the time to discuss her. We appreciate Talia very much. She is wonderful. Averaging 22 points as a freshman is crazy. Every conversation highlighting a player is not a knock on another player.
Okay, so I think what this kind of boils down to is negativity breeds interaction. And when there's a post on social media, people think, how do I get people to respond to what I have to say?
We're in the blue
And the
check
easiest
epidemic.
way to
Before you
do
keep
that
going, I'm
is to
sorry.
say
We're in the blue check epidemic.
absolutely. But it's like people are just like, oh, the best way for me to make sure that people are replying to what I have to say is to say something inflammatory about somebody else or about, like, if I want to talk about how much I love um how much I love watching, let's say how much I love watching Tennessee basketball. I know we're gonna talk about them later. Like, I can't just say Tennessee Tennessee's been struggling a little bit, but Rickea Jackson is looking like a legit player that's gonna be a top option at the next level. Just like that might get, like, you might have a couple people agreeing, but if I say, man, Rickea Jackson is a better player at Tennessee than Candace Parker was. Like, that's what's gonna get people talking, because now people gonna be jumping in my mentions to tell me I'm wrong. But it doesn't matter, because positive or negative, you saw it. And that's what I want. My goal is for you to see it. So if I say something that's blatantly wrong, I'll live with it because you saw it. All publicity is good publicity.
I literally hate that every people move so much with all that, with that mindset. But too, like, the flip side of that is that people, it's like, and it is, I feel like it's a normal reaction, right? Like, people can't stop themselves from interacting with negativity. And like, sometimes I get it, I open Twitter and I see somebody say, um, like last year when they was talking about how Haley Jones wasn't gonna be a good draft pick because she ain't shoot no threes. I was arguing with bitches about that because who are gonna like that? Not too much on my sister, not too much on my girl. Because what do you mean by that? But and it's like sometimes you do need to be loud and wrong, but it's like the amount of times where like people will focus on the like negative stuff or the negative reaction. It's like, to me it just kind of takes away from the whole thing. And like specifically this week with Daisha Fair, like Daisha Fair became the past Brittany Gardner to be like the number 5 player in NCAA scoring, right? And when it happened, we posted it. I posted it on our page, but also Syracuse posted it on their page. Like, they tweeted it out. They gave her own dedicated tweet. They did the same way. Like, Caitlin Clark had the clip of her shot. Syracuse did the same thing. They had a whole news thing on her, like, which is local news, but they did their due diligence. And instead of people like going to the Syracuse page and retweeting Syracuse's post or like quoting, tweeting her with congratulations, like, I saw so many more tweets that was like, it's so unfair that Daisha Fair is not getting the same coverage as Caitlin Clark. Like, can y'all acknowledge the lady got an award first before y'all start comparing the coverage? Can you at least tweet and be like, hey, like, Daisha Fair went to this, here's a graphic, whatever, congratulations. Like, yeah, I think it's important to call out disparities, but like, can you say congratulations first? And then maybe the tweet under it be, state your issues. Like, but it was just so insane to see so many more people being upset that she didn't get the coverage that she deserved than people being like, congratulations. Like you are, it's like, I don't want to blame you, but you are part of the problem. Like, you would rather be like, oh, she deserves more, but you're not giving her more. You're not taking the time to tweet congratulations or Daisha, we're so proud of you, or let's make a graphic. Like, you're not doing any of that. And we already know that like there's a racial issue across women's basketball coverage. So it's like, you just making tweets about how ESPN is full of shit. It's like, yeah, that's great. And we can have a conversation about media coverage being bad, right? But that also does nothing to like amplify that player in the moment. So I don't know. I think people just need to do a little bit better about say congratulations. Give them folks a big up before you
Yeah,
and don't just keep
people.
using their name to like drag bad shit. You know, even with the Talia Scott tweet, like they could have very well said Talia Scott has been nominated for freshman of the week 6 times this season. You didn't need to put that lady. You didn't need to put Juju in that. Like, they didn't have nothing to do with that lady. And I'm sure Talia doesn't want to be like thinking of, oh, well, there's Juju and then there's me. Like,
Yeah, it's people. People are so used to complaining, like like you said, like they become part of the problem. It's just like they would rather say, "Why is nobody talking about this?" instead of talking about it. Like, if you have the power to complain about a lack of a conversation, you could use that energy to starting said conversation.
And I also think it kind of reminds me of what people talk about the Grammys and stuff. Like we know, like Jamae said, we know there's disparity in coverage in women's basketball. Like we talk about it all the time, and we definitely should. Like this is not us saying you shouldn't talk about these things at all. Um, we know ESPN is very hot take central, and we know how there's certain things at a certain point we know how these people are. So, but there is a time and place for when you should say something. Like with the Grammys, like everybody watch the Grammys every year, knowing they don't really be giving black people awards like that. And then they'd be like, all right, well, I'm not watching this next time because they don't hold my favorite artist again. You knew they was gonna hold your favorite artist because they do it every year. What are we surprised about at this point? Like, I don't, I don't know what we like. What is the expectation? Like, y'all are going in knowing y'all are gonna get hold. Y'all get hold, and then y'all be doing the I can't believe we got hold. The game is the game. We know how the game is played already. Like it's just again, call out BS as you see it, as you're supposed to, but you should be knowing what you're getting into by now. There's no reason that anyone should act surprised by anything at this point. Just call it out when you see it. Give congratulations when you need to give congratulations. Big up these players as they're supposed to. But you do not have to big up these players at the expense of another because it's ugly. And I'm sure these players hate it too. It's very necessary.
and I'll say one more thing, like also like you're giving to the Grammys point, like you're literally giving the Grammys coverage. Like you're watching it as a viewer. And like when your favorite artist is, you know, when you have to have these stand wars and your favorite artist is beefing with somebody, now you gotta say, well, she got 15 Grammys. Like you can't on one breath be like the Grammys don't mean shit and then also be like, well, she got the most. Like both of them things can't be true. You can't have it both ways. I'm sorry. Like and I mean, in lieu of that, though, this is your opportunity to like take the time to like honor smaller platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't know, whoever does an award show or whoever does like rankings or whatever, like if you have a favorite journalist who does rankings, like or whatever the kind of thing, wherever there's coverage being done and people are being honored, like acknowledge that. Like that is the easiest way for you to be like, this thing matters or you're doing good, even if this large platform doesn't acknowledge you. You are being acknowledged here. You're being acknowledged here. Like these are also important like achievements or recognition. So like I don't know. I think people should focus a little bit more on like putting their attention to positive things. Like I know sometimes you need to argue with people online, but like you'll probably feel better if you stop.
Listen, arguing with people online can like I'm the first person to say I enjoy arguing, but there are certain things that just aren't worth arguing about. It's like if this once it gets to a certain point where it's just like this is going nowhere, then it's like, we can't be arguing about the same thing for years and years. Yeah, definitely not doing that. and we both know the situation, and we just arguing just because, that's nasty work. Can't involve it. Can't do it. Like, yeah, stop. Stop. If you don't like something, you can ignore it. I think that's really the biggest thing out of all this. You can ignore things you don't like. You do not have to engage with things you don't like. Certain things, if you're like, this does not suit me, I don't like the way this is presented, I don't like the way this looks, I don't like these people in it, you can just not watch it. And that just be it. But some people do deserve to be told they going to hell. So it really just depends on what it is. I sometimes I mean sometimes stuff be being presented to me, I'd be like, those people in that are not seeing the pearly gates. I feel that is important. But otherwise, ignore what you can ignore. Um, Next, what I was gonna pull up and I was gonna give y'all more of the chance to talk about because I was, y'all sent it and I was like, what are these words? The transfer thing that y'all sent. Um, and just talking about like, how impactful or not impactful transfers have been. Um, and I guess I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts.
Well, like I said earlier, like going to that fourth tweet, I think, um, or maybe it's the fifth one. Oh yeah, the 439 players who transferred. Um, Essentially 60% of them had a decrease in SPI, which SPI is impact on the floor. And I'm like, that's a really shocking statistic to me because I feel like the portal is often sold as a place for players to go and get more playing time and like be more a part of the team and get better opportunities. But if 60% of the people who transfer schools, like their impact has decreased, it's like maybe they should stay where they was at. Like I don't like it's cool that there is a good percentage of them that did have positive change, but like I think that speaks to like the importance of both players like knowing who they are as a player and like what they can bring to a team, and also coaches understanding what they need from the portal. Like we've seen teams, I guess, obviously there are a lot of teams who get players who don't fit what they need. And so now they're not even being as impactful as they could be. So I thought that was like super interesting and honestly a story on like on who like maybe we need to think about this a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot like we've talked about the portal before, but I feel like there's a lot that goes into making that decision as a player. Like I feel like you have to be looking at the situation that you are getting into, and as a player, you know your skill set better than any coach, better than any other player. So you have to be able to look at the way this team plays and say, okay, this player is a senior and they're leaving. So if I come in, can I play this role? What can I do in this role that's different? Is there anything that I'm good at that will be suppressed by me being transferred? And a lot of time that's what happens. And I'm not saying it's always a bad thing. Like even players that have had um a decrease in impact, is the impact that you are having contributing to more wins? If that's the case, then you probably have a point there. But I think And like Jermaine said, the coaches have to be looking at this too. When you're looking to bring in players from the portal, you say, what did I just lose with this class that just left, with this transfer that just transferred out? Whoever I'm bringing in, what can they add? Is there a new wrinkle to the offense or the defense that can change the way that we play, can change the way that this team looks? Do I want to establish a new identity? I think all of that is important. And I think it's something that all parties have to be considering when they go into making decisions regarding the portal.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
It sounds like the grass is not. Of course, we know the grass is not always greener, no matter where you go. Um, I'm surprised to see Haley Van Lith on here. Just
I
because
was literally
like,
about to say that. Like I was literally about that was the next sentence coming out of my mouth.
we're locked in, bestie. But yeah, I'm surprised to see her on here just because of the dialogue surrounding her transfer a lot of the time. Um, you know, whether fair or not, it's definitely points in the season where she looked like she fit seamlessly. And there's definitely points in the season where she looked like how she looked in that game where uh, they were telling her stuff in that coach huddle, and she did not know what the hell was going on. So, I guess testament to her for still being statistically one of the best four in SPI for being a transfer. But like y'all said, everyone has to take a look at themselves. Everyone has to take a look at what they're getting. Everyone has to take a look at what they're going, what they're losing. Are you willing to shift things around? Or are you looking at a coach who can adapt? Are you looking at a program that's going to help you? Like, the grass is not always greener. And sometimes leaving is not the best option. But sometimes these players find out the hard way, and sometimes they don't. So, it kind of sucks for players who feel like they should. I definitely feel bad for the girls who left, and then they're kind of in the same boat, if not worse. But so I could crumble sometimes.
I really wish I might have to go back and add this dude and like ask him if he can send me the whole list. Because I'm really intrigued by these like the people that are noted. Like and especially like this transfers with the best SPI, like Jakia Brown Turner is hooping. Kiki Jefferson is hooping. Kobe Maples, I'm not familiar with her game, but Cleveland State is hooping right now, so I'm gonna assume it's because of her. But when I look at Haley Van Lith and I look at her stats, like compared to last season, she's playing 6 less minutes, scoring 8 less points, 2 less rebounds, 0.7 more assists, 0.2 less steals, similar blocks, less turnovers. Her 3-point percentage is up. But that's like looking at her numbers and just like how she's fit into LSU's system, like it hasn't been very seamless. So I'm really interested in how her or like what this thing includes.
Do we know
I
how
wonder.
SPI is calculated?
Well, I just thought that he said it's based on net points added per 100 possessions. So I wonder if
Oh,
so I wonder
This is a
if
lot
Haley
of
Van Lith
guys.
maybe like I noticed that it says the transfers with the best SPI,
mm-hmm,
not with the best SPI increase.
mm-hmm.
So her numbers may be lower than they were last year. I mean, I don't know. Obviously,
Yeah.
I don't have the spreadsheet, but it could be. Um, it could be she might be having a she might be having less of an impact
Mm-hmm.
at LSU, but she's still having a significant impact
Mm,
on the way that they play.
yeah. Hmm.
And
That's
you said
interesting.
it's points per possession or something like that, or part of the points per possession, you said?
Yeah.
Net points per 100 net points per 100 possession.
Well, okay. Do you think it also might help that I think LSU has scored like close to 100, if not 100, like a couple of times this year. I don't know how often Louisville did that last year, but do you think that also is a part of that? That it's like, I'm sure she's a part of it, but she's also just so happens to be on the court while LSU is being LSU against these teams that they.
Yeah.
We'll
It
see.
also it also matters how good your team's offense is and how good their defense is. Because, if LSU is ranked what in the top 10 right now. So if they're obviously scoring more than they're giving up. So that's good for your net also. So I'm sure there's more factors that go into it that I'm not completely sure of.
Yeah, but
Yes.
that's an interesting list for sure.
The more, thank you for the education. Lord knows y'all sent that. And I was just, I don't know if y'all remember on Good Burger where Kale was like, I know some of these words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm. 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 I know some of these words.
I was just like,
I know some of these words.
and y'all was talking about it. And I'm just like, what are these things talking about? But while we're on college, did y'all want to go ahead and talk about LSU and Tennessee, and then we can go into what we're expecting with the draft, and really just like the college games that happened recently in general.
First of all, I made me really mad to watch this game because I'm trying to look at okay. So in the first quarter, they were kind of going band for band. They were kind of going band for band. In the second quarter, LSU started to separate themselves. Not a lot. I think they were maybe up by like 10 at most in the second quarter. And then they went into the half. But when they was going band for band, they was getting Rakia the ball, they was playing solid defense, it was cool. Second quarter, they stopped giving Rakia the ball. And I'm like, why do teams keep doing that? Why do we keep on going away from our best player? I do not understand that logic. Whatever. LSU starts to separate themselves a little bit, like 10 points maybe. But it's cool. It's still within striking distance. All right. Third quarter comes back around. Tennessee is like decides they want to play serious basketball again. Like they start taking the ball to Rakia. Tess Darby is hitting shots. Tamari Key is getting putbacks like around the rim. Like they start to look when Tennessee played South Carolina, they looked pretty good. And they kind of started to look like that. Like they looked like they were playing team basketball. Tennessee literally got within like 1 point. They went on a solid ass run. They were within 1 point. And then next thing you know, Haley Van Lith is having a damn breakout game and she done hit like 2 threes back to back. Now, and from that point on, like after Haley hit them threes, it was kind of like, it's over. And the reasons why it was over. Number one, Jasmine Powell. I really hate to single out players, but when I say she single-handedly was like, fuck it, it's like my time to shine. and it was not, in fact, her time to shine. Like, she was trying to go band for band with Haley, and it's like, baby, you're literally already shooting like 4 for 12. Pass the ball. Like, you do not have the hot hand. Like, what are you doing? Like, literally, and then it's like not even passing the ball, literally coming down the floor, pulling up for the mid-range. Sister, you ain't hit that all game. Why are we doing that? And of course, the thing about, I think, is really that LSU does really well is like, if you start to make mistakes, they're going to start eating you up. Like, the moment that you start folding a little bit, they're going to start attacking. And from that point on, Haley shooting, Angel Angel starts to find her stride. Like, I don't really think Flage and Michaela had really big games, but they got some shots. Anissa started hooping. Like, Haley Van Lith was doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and that's kind of embarrassing because we've literally been dragging her all season about her being trash and not being able to handle the SEC guards. And then Jasmine Powell was like, "Hold my beer." I don't understand that. And two, fire Kelly Harper, because what the fuck were you doing? Like, this motherfucker. Like, in what world? And I don't understand why she'd be doing this either. But in what world would you watch a team hit 2 back-to-back threes and you just don't do nothing? You're not going to try to stop the rhythm of the game. You're not going to call a little quick timeout. You're not going to let them get their shit together. You're just going to let them play. You get 4 timeouts in a half. Like, I really be wanting to know, like, are they getting bonuses for not using their timeouts, or like, what's the T on the timeouts? Because she don't be using them bitches, and I don't get it. Like, baby, call the timeout. Your team needs a break. They need to catch their breath. They need to, like, this is the time for you to be like, baby, pass the ball. Rakia's open on the wing. Let's swing the ball. Let's get Tamara Key is working inside. Let's do something different. And the fact that she left that lady in the game the whole time, like, bad for business. I'm tired of her. And every time she just let them be trash. It is like, I know some of it, as a player, you should have some sort of like dog in you and you want to turn up and all that. But bitch, if I'm on the floor and my teammate is coming at that bitch jacking up shots, sit my ass down. Because I don't want to like doing that shit. Like, when I say that shit stressed me out so bad, I was like, is she being for real? Like, is she really being for real? Like, God not gonna stop the game, or just nothing? And then and that is in fact how Tennessee blew it. Right over.
Yeah, I knew that I was gonna let Jermaine rock. I knew there was gonna be a lot of Kelly Harper smoke. So
one of these days, I need a Jermaine
yeah.
exclusive list on all the coaches who need to be fired or who need to be doing another job, because I feel like it's an extensive list.
It's honestly not a good, sometimes we talk about coaching all the time, but I have just never seen, like, the way Kelly Harper just coaches. It's just so confusing to me. Like, at the beginning of the season, she was doing this thing where she was just like subbing people out every 2 minutes, like, or waiting for the media timeout. Like, sister, use a timeout. Like, call it, run a play. Like, throw up a sign or something so your people know what they're supposed to be doing. It's really not a lot of coaches that I'm like, okay, they gotta be gone, because again, coaching requires a lot from you. But that shit is embarrassing. It's no reason why you should have Rakia Jackson on your team and you getting beat by 15. Like, it's nothing in my mind. There's no reason why that should be happening. Like, no, absolutely not.
She will be appreciated in Indiana.
We will take her because this is getting ridiculous. Like it's getting ridiculous.
We'll get into the where we think people gonna fall after this. You know, um, I'm trying to look at some of the other games that have happened recently. I did just see Iowa State played spoiler today, and they beat Kansas State. Um,
Oh,
Oklahoma beat Texas. Um, Ohio State.
Oh,
Ohio State. You did not fall to the number 2 curse. What was Ohio State won? 15 straight
heavy
games?
is the heavy is the head. Heavy is the head on the crown of my Buckeyes.
and I think y'all just won the. I think they just won the regular season for sure now because Iowa.
Yeah.
I mean, Indiana's 2 games back.
Shout out to the girls.
So, congratulations to them. Oklahoma, though, I don't know if the Big 12 is folding or what is going on, but why is Oklahoma on a run right now? Like, they're like on like, no, because I'm getting confused. They're on a 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's only a 3-game win streak. They did just lose to West Virginia. But before that, like, what? It's kind of getting spooky.
So, I just realized that Kansas State has lost to they lost to Iowa State, and they beat UCF, and then they beat West Virginia, and then they lost to Kansas, and then they lost to Iowa State. So they've lost like 3 out of their last 4 matchups against unranked teams, um, which is not good going into March. But I also understand they are trying to integrate people back into the lineup and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. But that is kind of crazy to see. Really, only the games that like caught my attention per se. Over the Sunday, as a matter of fact, Duke beat NC State. That was I don't know. That was unexpected.
Westmore, he's will rule the day. Like he's another nigga that need
That's
to go.
yeah. I know
I
that's
don't,
one.
I
I
don't
know that's one of the
I don't
coaches
get
that you don't like.
it's like River Baldwin was giving niggas 20. Why are y'all losing to Duke? Like what? Again, another nigga who be hoarding the timeouts. Or just using them in a silly way. Like they lost the when they lost to Virginia Tech. Nigga, why are you wasting your time out right now? You need to be focused on the damn play. Like, what are we doing? It's he's another nigga who be just pissing me off really bad. That's why I can't watch them. And they lost to Duke and USC the same week. Like, what are y'all doing?
Speaking of USC, Utah beat USC in the battle of Alaskan versus the Bun. The Alaskan won. So I think they swept the season series against them, if I'm not mistaken. So so if I had this correctly, Utah didn't beat UCLA this year, but they beat USC. But USC beat UCLA. So this is a very interesting triangle. I don't know what shape this
Yes.
is. Yeah, this is a triangle. So sports are fun. Matchups are fun. But shout out to the best Alaskan of all time.
I think the conferences, like every conference, we talked about this earlier in the season. Like conference play is fun because like this is like the matchups that you're prepared for. Like the play style is pretty similar, so you like kind of always know what to do. But Pac-12, the Big 12, both of them just been like beating each other down and just jumping it's jumping around. It's jumping around. Another But unrelated to what I just said, well, kind of related. The worst basketball I've ever seen. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. I take it back. I take it back. Not the worst basketball I've ever seen. But you know who pissed me off? Colorado. Colorado played UCLA on Monday. And they were like low scoring game now. They had maybe like 3 minutes left. It was probably like 49 apiece. Oh, not 49. 40, I don't know. We'll call it 39. I don't know what it was. Anyway, it was close. And UCLA makes a shot. Lauren Betts gets a steal. Then Jayla Sherrod fouls out. Well, she doesn't foul out on like the immediately next play, but 2 plays later, she fouls out. And Colorado got the ball. Well, UCLA got the ball. They was going to make a shot. I don't know if it was a free throw or what. This girl took the ball, pushed it down the floor, and dribbled underneath the basket. And then threw it away. Ma'am, y'all are this close. Y'all are literally this close. What the fuck was that? Like, I have literally not watched a basketball game that has pissed me off so much until I watched her do that. I was like, and again, what was the play? What did you tell that baby to do? Why? Like, she literally was pushing the ball. I think she had one defender on her. Sister, go to the basket. Y'all are in crunch time. Your starting point guard has fouled out. You gotta score. You can't be doing this like, I'm gonna get the ball to somebody else. No, you are the diva now. Like, this is your time. And she just blew it. And just threw the ball away.
I'm looking at the play-by-play now. I think I found the little like part of the game that you're talking about. So it's 28 seconds left. Oh, okay. So we get to about 34 seconds left. Lauren Betts got a steal. Jalen Sherrod fouled with 27 seconds left. London Jones made 2 free throws. Quay Miller got a defensive rebound. And then hopefully it's Kendall Wetta got the turnover. And then Kiki Rice got the steal. And she made a layup. And then Colorado got a timeout. And then Frida Foreman missed a 3-pointer. And then that was kind of just the end of the game. At that point, they were up by 7 with 13 seconds left. So very unfortunate sequence all around.
Like, that lady missed the free throw. She missed it. This was your opportunity. Like, y'all were only down 5. What were we doing? Like, what are we doing? And their coaches is usually a pretty good, like, pretty good. So I'm like, what did you tell them? Like, where's the clock awareness? We ain't got no timeouts left. Like, do y'all not practice down to the wire plays? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Just awful basketball, like, all around.
We're to fun, and now we're almost in March. And this is where the girls be girling. And we'll see how that goes. Because Lord knows. I just know something silly is gonna happen. And we're gonna have our Cinderella run that we always get. I'm sure South Carolina's gonna smack whoever they're supposed to smack. And they're gonna do what they gotta do because Don gonna have them prepared. I
just need UCLA to get I just need UCLA to become a 1 seed so they can get away from South Carolina and we could just all be cool. Like, let us have the championship or the Final Four we deserved.
Who is a matchup for y'all that y'all want to see in the turn? Like, just 2 teams where it's like y'all go out there and have fun. You don't really care who wins. You just hope for great basketball.
I don't know. I feel like every team I want to see, I have an agenda. So I
But
can't really, I don't know.
I don't think there's- I'm interested to see what Colorado does in the tournament. I don't know if I have like a dream matchup for them per se, but I th they're obviously a very talented team. They were ranked in the top five um a couple weeks ago. They can they definitely have the talent to go on a run. So I want to see what they do. This is not me predicting anything, but I'd love to see that. I'd love to see how far they can go.
And
I
you
bet
know what though? I really like Colorado as a team, but it's like they be folding at the last minute, and it's like, stand up. Like just stand up, please. Like you just stand up. I don't know what's going on with them lately. Like they've lost like four straight, which like I feel like is a little uncharacteristic of them. And maybe, it's fatigue and all that kind of stuff, but they gotta figure it out before, if that means they need to lose the Pac-12 tourney so they can get a little rest. Because they're gonna make the tournament, but whew, I think they can make a run, but they got to get it together. They've been stressing me out.
I'm just ready to see who's gonna play spoiler. Somebody's gonna go on that bitch with nothing to lose and hurt somebody's feelings. Somebody's gonna be their last
I'm
March
here to
Madness.
I'm here to ruin your day.
I'm here to listen.
That's my like
I'm here to ruin your senior season. Like you thought this was gonna be the run, and we got 5 wins on the year, and you about to be our sixth. So somebody's gonna be sick this year. So it's always that.
I think the I think the second reveal comes out tomorrow. The bracketology reveal comes out tomorrow. So we can kind of see where people might get, were more than likely to get put. But I don't know. And honestly, the way that people have been playing this season, like I wouldn't be shocked if we see like more upsets than usual.
Well, speaking of uh, you know, people leaving and ruining senior seasons and whatnot, I think it's time to look at kind of an updated mock draft. We're not sure where um, if Caitlin is leaving. Cam Brink says she's undecided, but apparently some Instagram posts she made today kind of alluded to the fact that she was leaving. Um, or yesterday, I
I
can't
don't
remember.
know why she's trolling right now. Because at the beginning of the season, she posted, "This is my fourth year. Like, thank you for all the memories," some shit like that. Like, why would you go out there and say you undecided? You know damn well you've been ready to wrap it up since the season started. Why would you go and say that? I don't know. Maybe she
I
has a
don't
change
know
of heart.
what
I
she
doubt
got.
it.
I don't know what she got left to give. We know Paige is staying. Um, so let me share my screen, and I was gonna look at this mock draft on beyondwomensports.com and then this mock draft for ESPN. Both of them are updated to about late February.
But they probably still show
yeah,
all of the
yeah. What so the one that you're about to show is one that I just looked at and they
Ooh,
the one from Beyond Women's Sports, they signify like what players could return. So that's like in the first round, I think the players that have to declare that would be Rakia Jackson, JC Sheldon, Alyssa Peely is not a college player. But the other first rounders that they had were Tiana Jackson from Kansas and Charisma Osborne as the players that will be declaring this year.
Okay.
So
Also,
just trying to
hold on. Sorry, Jay. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I was just gonna say just to so like if like let's say everybody goes back, like we know the names that will be available for teams to choose.
Okay. So before we got on this, I was like, really also I knew as soon as I knew we were gonna talk about this, I was like really trying hard to find like a list of like all the players who are like are fifth years. Could not find one. Okay. So I took it upon myself to like make a list of fifth year players, like most of the fifth year players that I know. And so I'm gonna send it to you guys and so that we can look. Because even like I came up with the list of 42. I'm not saying these people are all gonna like make it to the WNBA or anything, but like I feel like they kind of have a good chance if like in this hypothetical world of everybody goes back and takes their fifth year. I feel like we still have a lot of good options, and I feel like people are like like I keep seeing people say like, oh well, if Cameron Brink and Caitlin and Angel and all of them take fifth years, like we're the league is gonna suck, or like, you know, all the teams are gonna be down bad. And it's kind of like, no, this might be a good time to like show other people have talent. So yeah.
I just want to say this because we've talked about this on here before, and it seems like this discourse is being brought up again because of it's always a what?
Man.
These girls, if any of these girls decide to stay, I promise you, it is not because they make more money in college. Most of them it might be because I know with Paige, she didn't really get a chance to play with the people that she uh that she came up with because they take turns getting hurt. Um uh Caitlin may just want to continue solidifying her legacy in college, and she really booked with her eye with people heavy. Like, you know, I don't know if Cameron Brink is gonna stay. But maybe she got some scores. She want to settle, feel like she can win a title next year with Stanford. Like, there are so many reasons that these players may or may not want to stay, but money is not one of them. Remember, NIL is endorsements. It is not your salary. These people are not going to stop endorsing them just because they go to a higher league. We talked about it before. I feel like we probably gonna have to mention it again by the time the actual draft comes around. Because for some reason, Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco was on the thing talking about that, which they need to stay out of women's business and being messy.
They need to stay out of business, period. Take the mics. Why does Shannon Sharp have so many shows? Like, how much does he have to talk about? Can we just come on? Can we stop?
That boy interviewing Cat Williams, Monique, being a harlot, got a thing with Ocho Cinco going to church and being the things that you talk about. If a women talked about, they wouldn't allow them in that congregation, sir. So we need to take a look in the mirror at ourselves. Stay out of women's business, sir. So yeah, these people are not taking pay cuts. Indiana. If Caitlin Clark does not declare, Cameron Brink does not. Well, let me ask you this, Jamae. Let's say Caitlin Clark does not declare, but Cameron Brink, Camila Cardoso do. Would you still prefer to take Rickea Jackson?
Yes. I like Cameron Brink, okay, like especially since the Fever are like kind of going all in on the list. So, and I don't mind that at all. And like she doesn't seem like she's gonna move to the wing. Like if they were like showing like her potentially moving to the wing, I could say, okay, maybe we take Camilla, I mean not Camilla, Cameron. We could take Camilla too, but I could see them taking Cameron, you know. Um, but I don't know, I feel like it kind of defeats the purpose. And we kind of need some the space the floor. So like I don't know. I would take Rikia, honestly. Like she really is genuinely my choice if Caitlin don't want to show up.
So we know the Sparks have 10, 11 guards on their roster. So if Cameron Brink does not declare and Carmelo Cardoso does not declare, they're more than likely not taking JC Sheldon because that's good. That's a lot going on. So it looks like the next best guarantee would be the greatest Alaskan ever. How do we feel about Peely and with the Sparks?
Get my sister away from Kurt Miller. Like, get her away. I don't want it. I don't want it. Mm-mm.
So Cameron Brink
Like,
and
I know
Carmelo with Kurt Miller is fine, but Peely no.
I mean, no, but somebody got to go. They got
Right.
they got 2 lottery picks. Somebody going.
And you know what though? Like, honestly, if he did pick up Peely, they might actually bring small ball back. I don't know. We might actually. They don't really have what Azare probably their biggest player right now. So they might have to reinvent the feeling. I don't know.
They also could get Tyler Jackson, 6'6" center. Again, they need size desperately because they have every guard in the league.
Yeah, is I think they're probably gonna go heavy with front court players in the draft. Just because I mean when you lose Nneka Ogwumike, like your priority has to be retooling your front court. Like your front court is gonna look completely different. So you have to.
Chicago Sky, it seems like if all these players did not go, I don't think they'd take another guard. So, and they may take Peely, but it looks like they would take that eighth anyway. Or Nadia Pooch. I think that's right. I think I remember Big Brandon. I think I remember us talking about how to say her name on one of them earlier episodes.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's Nadir Watch.
Watch, excuse me. Forgive me, Nadia.
Yeah.
Los Angeles
Yeah,
Sparks.
I think but well, see the thing about Watch though is she's not coming to the W next season. She's entering the draft, but she's more of a
Ah,
draft and stash. She's more of a draft and stash type player. So
damn, that shit do say this first draft is stash in the second sentence.
yeah, I think she's I don't think she's 22.
Oh, so it's 22 for everybody? Okay, I didn't know that.
I think so.
What did
She,
Lord, what's LSU's coach name? Kim Mulkey.
Kim Mulkey.
What did she say about Angel Reese and Haley Bentley entering the draft?
I think she just said that I don't think she said they would. I think she was just saying like, if y'all want to see them play, like y'all better show up to the games because this might be the last time you see them.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So Nadia Puach is 19.
Okay, yeah.
So
How did
it
they put
might
her in the
just
draft
be she.
then?
Yeah, I wonder if. Let me see. I wonder how because it's probably. I feel like it's different. Yeah, it is. For international players, you have to be 20.
Okay, I knew it
Ah,
was a different
Yeah,
age, but I didn't know how old, like what it was.
yeah. International players have to be 20, but for U.S. college players, you have to be 22.
Gotcha.
I'm assuming did Leah Edwards already say that it was staying?
No, but it looks I feel like she's probably gonna come out, but she hasn't said whether she was gonna come out or not. I think she said she was gonna wait till the end of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I think the point is if we're going off of everyone with an asterisk isn't coming. I think this point uh that they made with Dallas drafting Nadia also works for them if she ends up going like fifth for some reason. That the fact that Dallas is probably one of the more complete rosters in the league, especially for someone so high up in the draft. I could see them just drafting, stashing her just because. Um, the Mystics are in a very take what you can get territory because they moved nasty this offseason and the last couple off seasons, and they have felt the wrath of the basketball gods. So they kind of like, please, anybody come play for us right now. So it's very interesting to see what's going to be left for them at this juncture. Um, and then with the links, you what would be left for?
It's a fair getting drafted to the Las Vegas Aces.
It is.
Because of course.
Don't let it happen. I have some things to say. Chelsea Gray would treat
Could lead
Chelsea
to
Gray
the Seattle
would
Storm.
Chelsea Gray would treat her well. Georgia cannot go to
Oh,
Liberty.
Yokeli does.
No. No.
Nope, that's the place for the international white women. She got to fit. That's exactly where
No.
she's going.
They need to leave her alone.
Sorry.
They
Only
can
girls with the
have
accent.
the Liberty can have Haley Van Lith.
I didn't know Yokeli was out. Okay, coming. Oh, I didn't know she didn't have one more year.
Yeah, I didn't know she was. Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't know before this when I was looking at.
I swear
Asia
I just looked her
Wilson would
up.
treat
Well,
her
I guess
well.
she was injured last season, so I thought they would have, gave her another year, but I guess maybe they didn't.
Asia Wilson would treat her well.
Well, she did. Okay, yeah, she didn't play at all last year, so maybe she. They might.
You still like
They
me,
might.
baby, I know.
They might.
Okay, these are not people that I put on my list, but I see the vision. I see the vision for some of them. Jessica Carter, I included her. Hannah Jump getting drafted. All right.
To the Fever.
Con Congrats to her. I like Hannah, but
Who's
okay.
who's
Lauren
on your
Park
list
Lane.
that's not on your list? Or who's on here that's not on your list?
I sent you in the Discord.
Yeah,
On
I was
Discord.
looking at it.
Let me get
I
on
think
there.
I picked most of these people up. I didn't know Lauren Gustin had another year either. I would have put her on my list too. I didn't include Lauren Park Lane, but she does have another. She is coming out. I didn't
So
know how likely she would be.
they don't have Ashley Owusu here. I feel like she's one of those players that a team would take an upside swing on.
Yeah.
I hate it does this. Airdrop, don't fail me
They
now.
got the dream taking. They got the dream taking Charisma Osborne at 12.
With Jordan Canada, I mean, they might UCLA to the
Hey,
UCLA to Dream pipeline.
Charisma Osborne and Jordan
Well,
Canada sounds crazy.
yeah, never mind, never mind.
Hey, Jermaine, you snap. I appreciate you very much for this. Your work does
This is
not.
just people. So the first list is just people that I know are like they're done, or they could be done. Lauren Gustin from BYU, I think she could get drafted. She's a very good rebounder.
Your work does not go unnoticed. So Liz Kitley, Charisma Osborne, Rakia
So
Jackson, Jakia Brown Turner.
Samara Key is she's a 5th year.
She's a 5th year, but she didn't play last. Well, she did. She only played like 7 games last year, or 6 games last year, before she went out for injury. Well, for her
Oh,
blood.
okay.
So I didn't know if she could have got a waiver from playing last season. So I don't know if she got one or not. So if she can come back, I mean, I would see her going back. But if she can't, I mean, she's a pretty solid big to get as well.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
random,
I
but
think a team will take it.
this is random, but honesty Scott Grayson is a cool ass name. Her parents, they cook there. I can't lie to you. Them niggas cooked. Shout out to them.
And she's pretty good at basketball too. She's a really good guard. So
them niggas cooked.
Yeah, she's
With a name like Honesty Scott Grayson, when niggas gotta say all 3 of your shits, that's how you know. So Jameis top 12.
Oh yeah, she is good. I watched.
And these aren't in order necessarily because I didn't remember who was in the draft. But like, if I had to pick, if none of these people decided if everybody decided they want to take their 5th year, like, I feel like those would be the choices. I mean, this is who the selection would be. And it also excludes international players, obviously, but that's who I would pick. I mean,
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think these. I think those are. I think that's valid.
there are definitely some other people who could didn't make the top 12, but like who could still get drafted. Like there are a lot of solid choices. Like, yeah, they're not like breakout stars, but like I think they can make some shake, given the right conditions.
I think a lot of these teams are really only need a couple pieces, and like sometimes you just need like 1 or 2 more things that just make sense more than a home run, because sometimes home runs take time to build up. So I think this is a pretty good draft, even if the heavy hitters don't declare. So thank you very much for compiling this list. I guess we could just look at this ESPN mock draft, and then so Cameron, Rakia, Camilla, because this is upgraded into what, or updated until February the 22nd. Angel Reese and Shakira Austin sounds like a very funny front court. I don't know how good or not good they would be, but I can just imagine like I can really see both of them really going crazy and helping each other out, but I can also see it being one of those things where Angel talking shit and Shakira Austin has to be the one to like back it up. Like, come kill my uncle about it, pussy. And it's Shakira Austin in the back line.
Somebody gonna have to shoot the little 16 footer. if you can do that, because I know that Shakira is gonna be able to execute like dribble handoffs and stuff. So it can work. The floor out.
And honestly, I can really see Angel like developing a jumper at the next level. Like she's been like trying to incorporate it more now. But
So the
I think,
midi, yeah.
yeah, I think honestly, Angel has definitely been trying to incorporate it into her game now. Um, so I can definitely see her like if she does get drafted, like I don't think she's very far off from it. Like I feel like she's getting like she's not hitting the shots, but she's definitely getting more comfortable. And also like I don't know, Angel plays with like a aggression that I think like can kind of get her through a lot of things. So I don't know. I think she'll be able to like make that transition and you know, even if it means both her and Shakira like switching off and like both of them working on their jumpers to, you know, free the other one up. I think they're both pretty good post entry passers too. So like if they can run a 2-man game too, that would be cool.
Angel plays with a spite and pettiness that I feel like she has no choice but to be better at basketball because I feel like she would just. I feel like she's just gonna naturally get better just to spite everyone else. Like, because I feel like she knows if she's not good, she can't talk shit, and I think she enjoys talking shit too much, which I love it. Spite fuels a lot of things. Hate fuels a lot of things. If hate is your fuel, baby girl, hate all you want. That's what we need. So yeah, that'll be exciting. Um, I'm also excited to see that this is the first time that they're actually putting the draft somewhere that people can like watch in person and not like in the storage in the back of
Yeah,
Home Depot.
I think that's the first. Yeah, it's the first time in like. Yeah, it's the first time since what 16.
They be trying to put them little babies in a circuit city and expecting people to watch. But I don't know. They're doing a lot of things for this. So I feel like the conspiracy person to me is like this is the year they upgraded. So that means Caitlyn gotta be coming out. Like I feel like Miss Blazer is coming like you declare or else. So, you know, we'll see. Uh, I can see her making some moves. She trying to make her shit look good.
They definitely are trying to like prepare for like the influx of growth that the league should definitely see in this year. Like, um, which I think is a good thing. It's like it's kind of annoying that it took you like this is the moment that you chose, but we're gonna let you rock. We'll let you have it. You know, win is win.
Well, we'll see how they do. Well, lastly, I just wanted to say Asia's book signing was absolutely adorable. Um, she's a very nice lady. Her and Alicia was just like asking her questions about the book, and they asked questions after. This little girl was like, "Were you on Sister Sister?" And I was like, "It's so cute," because absolutely not. But I can see why you asked that. Some other little girl was like, "Did you always like being tall?" Because I'm in the seventh grade, and Aisha was like, I kind of hit my growth spurt kind of late, but being tall was like my thing when I hit my growth spurt. And then that little girl, you could see like her eyes just kind of lit up. She was just like, "Damn, maybe this is my thing. Like, that's what we need." I seen her mama. I was scared to say something to her mama, and I was also scared to say something to Alicia Gray. But we moved in the summer. Um, yeah, overall it was a wonderful experience. Again, very nice lady. She is tall as hell. We are, I guess, technically we're about the same height,
You
but
was
still,
looking her in the eye, bro. We saw
she's
the
tall.
pictures.
She's still tall as fuck. I didn't feel it's funny that in the picture I'm looking her in the eye because I did not feel like I was looking at her in the eye. Like I feel like I was looking at her like when I went to shake her hand, I felt like I was shaking her hand like this. Like I was just looking up at her. It was
Nigga, y'all are the same size, literally shoulder to shoulder. Talking about I was looking up to her. Get the
I
fuck
felt
out of here.
I felt like I was looking up at her. It was intimidating in a really nice way. I also got me a candle. So, support black businesses. We'll see how it smells. But yeah, is there anything else on the agenda?
Mhm. I think we talked about everything else. Watch college basketball. It's fun. Or is it? I don't know.
It's almost March. It's almost March. Not if you're trying to get into it, now is the time.
March Madness it will feed families. It will absolutely feed families. And then you can watch next year and
It
the
will
year
in
after
fact
that.
feed families. Make your bracket.
I can't wait
Make you a
to
bracket.
I can't wait till we make
Put
our
Ohio
brackets.
State in your Final Fours. Um,
I'm
You
gonna
know, I
put I'm
could
gonna put
I
Ohio State in my Final Four just because of you.
I had
Oh,
them.
don't know.
Okay, so on my bracket last year, I had them in the I had Ohio State, South Carolina for for the championship, and they let me down. But this year is different. They're not gonna let me down.
JT Sheldon hooping right now, but Final Four. I gotta see who in they corner. I gotta see before I put them up there.
so we doing a pull up three
But
bracket
they have
as
been
a
playing
family.
more serious lately, so I believe in them.
We're doing a pull up
You
three
said we're gonna
bracket
make
as a
one.
family.
We got to do we got to do like the bracket group.
Yeah, we can maybe pick our bracket. We can do it. We can do it. We can do a video of us picking our selections as a group.
Well,
Lord.
if that is everything, thank y'all for watching another episode. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channels and sub on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, however that stuff works. Listen, share with your friends. If you would like to be a guest, as long as you're not talking nonsense, we would love to have you. All that stuff. But we appreciate y'all. I'm Paragon Don.
I'm Jamae.
And I'm Jay Trent.
And we appreciate you all.